Hey, what's up, YouTube? Um, Today I'm gonna be giving you guys my experience of working two jobs and going to school part time, also in one span of a summer. This was back in 2019, back when I was still full of youth. I was 20 years old, I believe. So that was 6 years ago when I was still spring chicken. Now I'm 26 and I already feel like I'm already 30 or 35 years old. But that's besides the point. So yeah, during the summer in May of 2019, I decided to work two jobs part time and go to school for two classes. I took, I think it was philosophy or philanthropy or something like that, and I also did calculus 2 at EPCC. And let me tell you guys, that was not the experience of my lifetime. Um, I thought by me going to school for two classes and doing two part-time jobs, which would equal one full-time job, would be a breeze for me, especially since I was still full of youth or whatnot. But I was very, very exhausted. I worked at Wet n Wild and Pizza Hut, both as a cook. And I think for the weekends, I worked back to back. Wet n Wild in the summer. Wet n Wild in the morning, and then Pizza Hut right afterwards. And then school during the weekday. I think it was like Monday and Wednesday for philosophy, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays for calculus 2. So it wasn't really back to back. I think it was back to back or not back to back. I can't remember. It was a long time ago. So yeah, taking two classes and then working two jobs was a real pain in the ass. Sorry about the foul language, but yeah, I think in my experience, I think philosophy was way harder than calculus 2. I'm not really good at math, so for my degree or whatnot, I had to go to calculus 2, which I didn't know, and I took all the way to calculus 3 and a bunch of other mathematics classes that I didn't need to take. So yeah, philosophy, that class really screwed with your brain and made you think into like a more perspective type of way, instead of like, oh, this is this because of this. No, it's like, this is the reason for this because of this. But by the way, this, and then because of this, is a reason for this. But there's more of a reason. So instead of going in a full circle, it like takes like a damn roller coaster road for you to actually figure out such, I guess, interpretation of how philosophy is and how it's meant to be or whatever. So yeah, we're working two jobs was pretty stressful. I don't know if you could see, I right now I have bags under my eyes, but during that summer of 2019, I had like way worse bags under my eyes. I didn't really get enough rest, especially working jobs back to back. I would go home working from Wet n Wild. I think like at 1 or 2 in the afternoon, take a nap for like an hour, and then go right to work for Pizza Hut, which is another like I think 8 hours. So I think Wet n Wild, each week I worked only like 15 hours or something like that. And then Pizza Hut I worked, I think, 25 hours or 30 hours or whatnot. So yeah, it was a full-time job every week with those two jobs. And then on top of that, I had to do two classes for the whole summer at EPCC, which was calculus 2 and philosophy. My recommendation is, don't do that if you want to get ahead and don't want to get too ahead and don't want to exhaust yourself for just one summer. I would stick to just working one full-time job and maybe take one or two classes instead of doing two classes and then two part-time jobs, which would equal a full-time job. It is good, or it is better to get ahead, especially when it comes to finishing school, getting your bachelor's, master's, PhD, or associate's degree. Well, I had my associate's degree a while back. and I would have had my bachelor's degree um, a while back too. Uh, One moment, guys. Someone is coming to check on me. I'll come back to you guys right now. Sorry about that, guys. They told me that they're already leaving for work. I mean, I don't know why they called me that, 20, 30 minutes ago that they were gonna leave. So why even bother telling me? But that's besides the point. So yeah, working two jobs and working two part times is not the way to go. I mean, if you're 18, 19, you wanna get ahead, go for it. You're full of energy. I was 20 at the time, and I thought I could do it, but I literally kind of had like a panic attack, especially with the freaking philosophy class. It was way harder than the freaking calculus 2 class, and I hate math with a damn passion. So I barely passed philosophy with a C somehow. I passed calculus 2 with my friend. Me and him were buddies in that class, so passing calculus 2 was pretty cool. Philosophy 2 had a pretty cool, I guess, like gothic professor. She was cool. She was cool with everybody. I had a bunch of people from early college, high school in that class. I was 20 at the time, so it was kind of like okay because everyone was like 18 and over. Would have been kind of weird if they were like younger than 18. But yeah, my experience with that summer of 2019 was pretty bad. Like I said before, I had an anxiety attack, and even at work, I would barely be, eating. I would barely be focusing. I would just be focusing like, oh man, I gotta finish this assignment, but I can't do it because I'm at work, or oh, I gotta do this and that, but I'm at work and I can't really focus on school. Yada yada, a bunch of obnoxious things, especially that summertime. So after a summertime, I pledged to myself to never do two classes and a full time job. Well, two part times that will lead to full time ever again. For this year, I'll probably do a summer class or two just to get ahead. Who knows if financial is gonna cover it or not? I might have to pay out of my own pocket, but I'll probably just do a payment plan for that. So yeah, I would not recommend you having to stress with yourself doing 3 to 4 classes and then doing a full-time job. That's literally like they do, I think they do mini semesters for summer term, which is like putting everything for one class that takes 4 to 5 months into like 2.5 to 3 months, which is pretty absurd. So that's why I might take only 1 to 2 classes this summer. So that's my overview of that summer in 2019 of taking 2 classes and having two part-time jobs. Also, if you are looking for a job, fast food is kind of the sucky way to go. They pay very little. The people there are cool. It depends on who you attract and who you don't attract. Get along with the manager, get along with people. Customers are always a pain in the butt. Right now I'm a customer myself. I used to work in fast food for 6 years, and that's besides the point. So, I do feel, anyone that works fast food. I've been working in fast food for the past 6 years, or before when I first started my job in 2016. So, during that span, I worked, I think, like 5 or 6 different jobs in fast food. So I know what any fast food worker has to deal with when it comes to customers, having to remake orders, having to do this, having to do that. So, when I go to restaurants, I know how the fast food people are, especially if you're not very compliant with them. They could get mad, they could do this, they could do that with your food that you order. So it's not very beneficial to be mad or be hateful towards them. So and also I did a Q&A on my last video or whatnot, and you guys didn't really like or view it as much. So I don't think I'm gonna do any more Q&A videos from now on. If you guys want me to do a Q&A, it's up to you guys, but I don't think I'm gonna be doing any more Q&A videos in the long run. You guys never seem to, I guess, appreciate my video content. But yeah, I'm not gonna be doing any more Q&A videos. I'll just be doing my normal videos that I've been doing now. So yeah, that's my experience, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.